Countrymen and countrywomen, especially the Bazukuru, I will read my speech in English because it's a bit longish, but then I will ask the Honorable Nankabura to make notes and later on summarize in one of the local languages. Greetings to all of you. Today, I want to address you on 5 issues. I've told you before of the Runyankore proverb. It says in Runyankore, and minyingi itukuruza ushera. The English equivalent would be, too many tongues spoil the broth. Similarly, so many wrong analyses of issues confuse some of our people and disable them from helping themselves and also helping their country. The issues I want to address today are the environment, especially the wetlands, wealth creation, jobs creation, regional integration, and parasitism, whether intended or otherwise. On the issue of the environment, on this occasion, I will concentrate on the water bodies and the wetlands. On another occasion, I will talk to you about the forests, the mountain ranges, and the landmarks, meaning the hills, the rock outcrops, etc. NEMA has in recent times been evicting people that had encroached on the wetlands against the law that was enacted in the year 1995 and our appeals ever since 1986. I remember very well that in 1986, I evicted the people that had invaded the Mavira forest following the order by Idi Amin that people should take over the forest because forests have no value and grow crops because they have more value. Sheer ignorance that is dangerous. I don't know whether my people, you can see the satellite pictures of 1986 before my order for the invaders to leave the Mabira forest, and the pictures of 1989 when Mabira had been restored. I don't know whether they can show us those pictures. Those are the pictures of the satellites. You know, the Ugandans, they think that nobody keeps a record of these issues. But there are people in the world who keep a record of all this. So I think on the left is Mavira before 1986. You can see the gaps. Then I think the other picture below is the one on the left, on the right. I think that was after, they say 1990 what? Huh? The other one is 74. Huh? (2024) recently. The top one is the recent one. So where is the? Mm-hmm. So I'm not able to. Chaptoris, can you do you have somebody from the forest?
Yes, there is.
Explain now. NEMA, or the Forest Authority. There is a man there. Explain this for. Switch on.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I'm Stuart Maniraguha from National Forestry Authority. The first satellite image down on the right was of 1976, when the forest was still intact. Then moving to 1984, Your Excellency, as you ably said, after that double production policy order, the forest was invaded on the eastern side, where 6,700 hectares were destroyed. With your able leadership, Your Excellency, in 1989, there was eviction of people from that area of 6,700, and the forest is showing regeneration at that intervention. And the Forest Department then embarked on restoration activities. Then the extreme top left is the current satellite image of Mabira that shows the area that were gardens in 1984 fully restored.
Where is the come and show us? Let them come and show, because the dark things, what are they? That was before the damage. Put it back.
Then we started seeing a problem in 1984 when.
Put the picture back, it was better. Put it back.
The area that was attacked with that order of double production was the eastern part, where you see cultivation coming in. Then as we move to 1989, after your order of eviction, we can see that the extent starts reducing because of the intervention. People were removed and the restoration started taking effect. When we come to date 2024, the area that were gardens, you can see that they are now fully restored. Thank you, Your
So
Excellency.
those dark things are forests. What is forest? The green or the dark?
This green is the forest, Your Excellency.
And that dark in the center?
This one, these are
The one
enclaves.
in the center, that center there.
Yeah,
that
yes.
one.
So this is the thick, dense tropical high forest.
Oh, the thick.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a forest that has recovered, which is yet to get to that
Okay.
tropical high forest.
So the dark is the thick forest.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Okay, thank you. So you can see those people who come and tell lies, who are born here, who are this or that, they are not very clever. They will go to Gehenna, to hell, because we have the record. We can trace back the record of everything, the forests, the wetlands. We can know what happened when. Now, that was for the forest. Regarding the wetlands, there was no encroachment by 1986 in most parts of Uganda, except for the areas of Busoga, Bukedi, and Kigezi, where both the colonial and the post-colonial governments had misled our people to grow rice in the precious swamps and rear cattle there. The satellite pictures can show that encroachment on the on the wetlands. That is where now. Come and explain to us. Explain to us in the. If you can get a foot ruler or something which can. Come on, kupata foot ruler, kitu yako.
Your Excellency, this is Chiruruma wetland ecosystem in Kigezi sub-region.
Which year was that?
This is, we didn't put the year, but this is before 1995. It is before 1995. It shows the extent of gardens and cultivations in Chiruruma wetland ecosystem.
Near the river?
Yes, Your Excellency, in Kigezi.
Now, can you people show us the swamps in central, the swamps in central Uganda 1986, the earliest, if you have them, before we captured Kampala? Which year was that?
Your Excellency, this is the Rubiji wetland system. The first top right is 2002. It can be seen clearly that the ecosystem was not invaded. Rubiji wetland system is the dark and greenish.
Yes.
Then in 2002, here it is more clear for areas of Nakwade, Ganda, and Masanafu. There were no settlements. As we can clearly see the dark and green shades, that's the wetland of Rubiji. Then we see encroachment now in 2022. For Ganda, we have seen that in 2002, there were no people. In 2022, people invaded the wetland. As you can see between the blue lines is the wetland extent, and the red line is the extent after we have removed the people recently. So this is for Ganda, and the other one, Your Excellency, is for Nakwade, which shows that the people were actually not there as they have been alleging.
Very good. Thank you very much. The satellite pictures can show that encroachment. I started discussing with the local people in those areas how they should leave those wetlands and do alternative and more profitable enterprises such as fish farming and apple growing. There are the examples of the Limoto wetland in Parisa and Museveni in the covered area. Regarding the wetlands in Buganda, Teso, Lango, Achori, etc., there was no encroachment at all. With the ones in Buganda, That is where we were fighting. At Danze, Dambwe, Rumansi, Rugogo, Mayanja, Seziwa, Rwajali, Rubiji, Katonga, Kafu, etc. If there are those pictures of these other ones are there by 1986, they can show them if they are there. If you have them in the system. Some of the others, if you have them. Not only Rubiji, the others. Kansanga, these are the ones in the town. You get the ones in the rural areas. If you have them, if you don't have them, don't waste our time. Dambwe, Danze, Eziri Munderi. If you don't have them, go and those are now, but that time, get the ones of 86 or before. Therefore, get them, put them. If you don't, shut up. Don't waste our time. Therefore, this encroachment is recent, and in spite of the law and our advice. The NRM sometimes uses soft methods to solve problems, even when the people are wrong. However, when it is a matter of life and death, or the destiny of Africa is at stake, we take a decisive and uncompromising stand. This is what mistake makers have failed to understand. And to the peril of everybody, including the mistake makers themselves. When Idi Amin made the mistake of his coup in 1971, he did not realize our determination not to allow Uganda to deviate from the Pan-Africanist path that we were patiently working on. When some narrow elements of UPC in 1979-80 thought they could eliminate the broad-based coalition of the patriotic and the Pan-Africanist forces, they made a serious miscalculation to everybody's loss. When it comes to the environment, especially the wetlands and water bodies, Enyanja, Emigera, Ebisharara, Ebijinja, etc., and the natural forests, Ebibira, it is a matter that is even greater than life and death. It is the threat of extinction. Why? The following reasons. The following are the reasons. Why is it that the issue of the wetlands and the natural forests is even bigger than life and death, and it is a threat of extinction? That's what I'm telling you. What are the reasons? The following are the reasons. Number one, 60% of our rainfall comes from the oceans, the Indian, the Pacific, and maybe the Atlantic. However, 40% of our rain comes from the local water and forest bodies, the natural forests, the lakes, the rivers, and the wetlands. The atmosphere is impregnated with moisture from these bodies by evaporation and transpiration. The moisture condenses in the atmosphere and comes back as rain. You want to know how crucial these sources are in rain formation? This is the question I'm putting to you. Do you want to know how crucial these local water bodies are to the rain we get? Look at two parts of your country, West Nile and Karamoja. They are more or less on the same latitude. That is between 2 degrees north and 4 degrees north. Both of them, West Nile and Karamoja. They are both on the same latitude. Latitude means the distance from the equator. However, West Nile gets 1,467.4 millimeters of rain per annum. West Nile, they are all the same distance from the equator, but West Nile gets 1,467.4 millimeters of rain, while Karamoja gets 811, almost half. They are the same distance from the equator, but Western Nile gets 1,400 and something. Karamoja gets 811 of rain per year. What causes the difference? What is the difference? The forests in Congo and the swamps of the Nile in South Sudan. This is what gives Western Nile more rain than Karamoja, although they are on the same distance from the equator, what we call latitude. That is why the Egyptians' idea of the Jonglei Canal was very dangerous, because it would rapidly take away the water from the flood areas of the SADs, north of Juba. The Egyptians had an idea of building a canal to bypass the swamps of South Sudan and bypass the loop of the Nile. That would have caused a big, that means that rain would not, we would not get this rain in West Nile. It is these water sources that enable Kalangara, the swamps of South Sudan and the forests of Congo help West Nile to get more rain than Karamoja. Then we come to the water bodies of the other parts of Uganda. Enable Kalangara to get 1,676 millimeters 0.6 of rain per year. Kalangara, 1,676.6 millimeters of rain per year. Chijezi to get 1,040.7 millimeters of rain per year. The Rwenzori area to get 1,043.9 millimeters of rain per year. Mbare gets 2,213.4 millimeters a year, etc. So you can see all these areas get a lot of rain because of the local water bodies. Either Lake Victoria, or in the case of Chijezi, which is far from the lake but has the local swamps. Then Mbare, because of the Mount Elgon and the forest. Therefore, anybody to invade the lake shore, Emyejego y'Enyanja, the river, Omugera, the wetlands, Ekisharara, and the natural forest, Ekibera, etc., is to work so hard to turn the whole of Uganda into a Karamoja in terms of rain. Some people, whether they know it or they don't know it, are not happy that we are getting so much rain. They would like the whole of Uganda to be like Karamoja. That's what they are working for. Bagala Uganda yonna efuuke nga Karamoja. The rain which God put for us here, the rain source, they want to dry it. Secondly, so therefore the wetlands are source of 40% of our rain. And if you remove them, the whole of Uganda will be like Karamoja at least, or at worst. I don't know which, whether at least or at worst. The experts will have to go and get the right words, or it may even be worse. Because I don't even know how Karamoja gets to the 800. I have not studied that very well. Secondly, with rain-fed agriculture, we sometimes get some erraticness of rain. Sometimes we get less quantity of rain. Therefore, to stabilize our agriculture, we must use our abundant water supply for irrigation, so that we stabilize the two rainy seasons, Katumba and Itumba. That's what we call them in Rinyankore. The one of March to May, we call it Katumba. The one of August to December, we call it Itumba. And even add more harvests using irrigation. The question then is, where will the water come from if you have dried the wetlands? Here we are talking of irrigation. Irrigation. We have now deployed solar pumps, solar water pumps. We've got a contract with an Indian boy to make solar-powered water pumps to pump water for irrigation. And we have also got a number of collective schemes. There's Mobuku already doing well, Doho doing well, some others, there's one called, the one near, in Lango area there, doing well. But we are working on more, and also even individually. Like me, if I get a solar-powered water pump, which I already have. I already have a number of them at my farm. I can push water from my dams up to a hill and irrigate my my pasture or my crops. Now we want this to be done everywhere. But now the water is from the wetlands. So if you dry the wetlands, where do you get the water from for irrigation? What sort of country is this which does not see far? Drying the wetlands is anti-agriculture. It is anti-irrigated agriculture. It is so unfair that a small number of wetland encroachers ruin the opportunities of the millions that could irrigate on the dry land. Number 3, the swamps are the natural filters of the water that goes into the lakes. Otherwise, you get silt going into the lakes, destroying the fish, and even eventually drying the lake through silting. The silting and pollution of the lakes, after removing the swamp filter, also poison our lake water for drinking and household use. It pushes up the cost of clean water for that purpose. If you were to ask the National Corporation, National Water Corporation, they will tell you that they must spend a lot of money to remove poisons from the water because of allowing